Here is another example of an intermittent estuary that goes through different stages. Before these observations of salinity fields, there was a big rainfall event, a big flooding event that through the catchment delivered large amount of low salinity water into the estuary. And then after this event, scientists went out and did studies of the salinity fields. And this is what's shown here on 3 different dates. On the left side, here, I turn on the pointer. On the left side, these are observations of the salinity field at high tide and at low tide. Yellow means low salinity, less than 5. 5 grams per kilogram is here. This is the river side, and the ocean side is on the left. You can see the values go up to 30 grams per kilogram. This is the ocean side. Okay? And you learned that with the tides, there is a horizontal movement, and with the outgoing tide in the lower image, you can see that the yellow all moved closer towards the ocean. Okay? You can imagine that it moves back from one side, is during the high tide, and the lower picture is during the low tide. So it swings, oscillates back and forth between these features. However, you can see the signature of a salt wedge. This is a salt wedge here. So now the middle panel here in this panel shows you the situation later, some week later. And for orientation, have a look at these little wiggles here in the seafloor topography. You can see the first 2 wiggles here on the left graph as well. So this is the same location that you have on the left one. You see a little bit more of the structure, salinity structure inside the estuary. And this is the Vela estuary, southern India. Again, high tide and low tide. And during this time, you can see that there is now more a structure where still something like a highly stratified, but it turns into a highly stratified actually, because you can see there is the injection of seawater into that system. Can you see? The purple is salinity is exceeding 32, and you can see that this water is sucked into the estuary. And as the water moves out, there's a little bit staying behind in the seafloor depression. And then as you move further on, another 2 weeks later or so, you can see that most of the system is now filled with seawater, and you can see some horizontal density difference developing in the surface layer. This is what we call a slightly stratified. So between the right and the left, you can see that there is a new delivery of seawater into the bottom layer of the system. This is a transition between a salt wedge, a highly stratified, and a slightly stratified estuary. Yay! This is what we call intermittent estuaries.